Welcome to another powerful conversation in the Hidden to Heard series, where we honour the untold and beautifully real stories of women who lead from the heart. Today, I am truly excited to welcome Sama Trinder. Sama's work is rooted in holistic wellness with a twist, and you will hear more about what that twist is. Her leadership speaks directly to the soul, and I'm really pleased that you're here with us. So, welcome, Sama.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on this, a real honor.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all of our audience finding out more about you. So, a bit more about Sama. Sama is a senior qualified yoga teacher, therapist, meditation teacher, holistic practitioner, as well as the founder of Bhuti, a spiritual well-being experience brand, and the co-founder and CEO of the Bingham Riverhouse. So you can tell she's not a busy lady. A wellness-focused hotel and members club in Richmond, London. Sama is on a mission to bring more joy to the world through her facilitation of events, retreats, and her businesses. Her journey through childhood, bereavement, addiction, stress, and burnout led her to embark on 20 plus years of development and training, and she has been teaching for the past 13 years. So, Sama, it is an absolute joy to have you here. I know Sama. I go to Bingham Riverhouse and I love it. And I think she's got a really powerful journey to share. So, I'm going to go straight into the questions. And my first question for you, Sama, is the Bingham River House is such a unique and soulful space. Like I feel a real beautiful soulful vibe when I walk through the doors. Can you just share a moment from the early days of creating or running it when you realize that like it was more than just a business, it was actually part of your life story?
hmm well, it definitely is part of my life story because it was actually a family home. Did you know that, Abby? It was my family's home in the 80s.
Ah,
Yeah, that's maybe
okay.
why it does feel like that. My parents bought it as a bed and breakfast, and we lived in it for a few years when I was a child. And my mum was going to sell it in when I was 21, and I was, losing my way, left university, wanted to be a journalist, wasn't getting work. And I agreed to take over running the hotel when I was 21, not knowing anything. Um, and for many years it was like making it into a sophisticated hotel. First of all, we changed it into a boutique hotel, then we got a Michelin
Mhm.
star in the restaurant. Um, but it became very much, a business and about, getting awards, trying to make it profitable. I
Yes.
was all very about the outward success and everything, which actually caused me to burn out because we got those success. I was depleted, completely stressed. And as you said with my bio, was having this journey of learning yoga and so on, and
Yeah.
that's the direction that I wanted to go in. So I think it started off as a family home life story, became a
Yeah.
business that I found like became really a bit toxic in a way. It was from in my head, it was the cause of all my stress, pain, and
Yes.
suffering for about 10 years. And then went off, opened another yoga wellness studio business, realized it doesn't matter what the business does, business is business, and you're going to have these challenges in everything, like
Absolutely.
relationships. We go from one relationship to another, and it's like, hello again, here are the same
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
But it's only in the last few years, like, and we met recently, of weaving the two things in together, and it is a business that is now transitioning to offer all the wellness, yoga, spiritual connection, and that's not just in a room on the yoga mat. It's through the events, it's through the food that we serve, it's through what we have in the bedrooms, it's through meeting and connecting with people like you. We have a membership community as well. So
Yeah.
now it finally is really an expression of like what feels like my heart's desire, my mission, my soul's mission,
Yeah.
to create a home for people to, yeah, if they are, for example, business owners, to navigate the challenges like I've gone through, like anyone who runs a business understands, um, or someone who's recovering from an illness or addiction or just wants more joy in their life or marriage, breakup. We have people
Yes.
coming to yoga, I think for a class, but for me, it's all yoga. Coming to stay, coming to
Yeah.
eat a meal. Everything is sacred. Everything can be spiritual. I think for a long time I was separating, this is spiritual over there, this is business. And now it's all one. But business is the yoga for me, is spiritual as much
Yeah,
doing it on the mat as looking at my P&L and looking at the, you know what I mean? It's all one.
yeah, yeah,
It's taken probably that if we'd had this interview even probably 6 months or a year ago, probably would have got a different answer. And your
yes,
question has shown me how things have shifted even more recently as well.
yeah,
Um, because we're planning on actually changing the business significantly. So an area of the business where we do weddings and events is going to be all wellness and holistic.
yes,
And a lot of people think we're mad to do that because the weddings and events makes way more money and profit, or it has done previously.
yeah, uh-huh,
And finally, me stepping into that decision, no, we are doing this, we are letting go something or moving something elsewhere that has been commercially successful for the sake of bringing something which hasn't previously been commercially successful, but is definitely our core mission, like
yeah,
making that decision, which can be a risk, but I believe that's where the world is going. That's what the world needs.
yeah,
What, will serve our community better. And I therefore am trusting that the money will come. But I think this final, which is only about 2 months ago, we've made this final decision cut and going on the plans, that it shows that I'm all in now with
yes,
that, making this business is, I love what you said, holistic wellness business with a spin. It's like it's in the coffee, it's in the juice, the smoothie, even the glass of champagne. It's an organic, nice champagne. I'm
yeah,
not saying
yeah,
no alcohol, but like considered alcohol, sustainable brands, B Corp. It's in everything.
yeah.
That's a long answer, isn't it?
It was a long answer, but a beautifully rich answer that was layered with really all of the experiences, your lived experiences that have brought you to this place that you are now. And I have to say, in getting to know you and your business and your ideas, what I love, Sama, is that you have embodied what you're doing. Like when you speak about it, like the yoga, the yoga is on the mat, but the yoga is also about revenue, cash flow, and P&L. Like for you to be saying that, that's the embodiment of this beautiful business that you are birthing for the world. And so I just wanted to thank you for sharing all of that because all of it was important. And we have conversations and we know that business is up and down and it isn't easy. But when you've made a commitment, when you've thought, right, this is the way I'm going, then it's kind of like that's what then drives you to keep going when it does get a little bit more challenging. So thank you for that. So, Summer, our theme is hidden to herd. And I'm interested, and you kind of touched on this a bit, but were there times in like your journey where you felt unseen, or perhaps you'd held yourself back? And kind of how did you begin to trust your voice and let yourself be fully heard as a leader?
Well, that's taken about 25 years. Um, yeah, so I think being a mixed race, or I don't even know the
Hmm.
right way, person of color
Yeah.
running a hospitality business, it's
Yeah.
I didn't realize that that was a thing. I didn't realize there was nobody else like me in management, leadership, or ownership. And so when I wasn't being listened to or trusted in decision making, with like, I am the main decision maker, very blessed to be in that position in my business. But like, for example, with the bank, with finance, with
Yes.
you're borrowing money to reduce the number of rooms. What? Because I wanted to make the rooms bigger and
Yes.
expensive, and they were like, no, you need more rooms, for example. I didn't understand that they were probably not trusting me because I was young, I was a person of color, I was a woman. I just thought they weren't trusting me because I was not good at business. So I spent the first 20 years thinking that I was rubbish
Yeah.
at what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so I think, especially as if we're women, I think, yeah, it's easy to take personally people's perception, and probably even we all have this unconscious bias, and if everyone, pretty much 95% of all leadership people in hospitality, are men of a certain age, generally what Caucasian, white, whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
what does she know? What does she know?
yeah,
So, um, and then therefore as well, I wasn't trusting myself half the time. So there's having an idea, having a conviction, trusting the gut. I'm not stupid. Even though I was young taking over the business, I grew up in business. I was counting
yes,
money on my dad's knee when I was 7. My parent, I was born in a care home because my mum's first business was a nursing home. So
right,
even though
yeah,
I was saying all the time to myself, "Oh, I don't know how to run a business," I had literally from the womb, I was in a business training camp,
yeah,
seeing my mum running her business, growing her business from one little care home to 5 nursing homes, and
incredible.
lived and breathed it. And yet all the time I was thinking, I'm not good at this. Um, well, your question was how did I become seen or heard or trust my.
Yeah, so kind of how did like going from I'm not good at this, I don't think I can do this, and all of the voices that you were hearing, like how did you move through that to trusting your trusting your own voice and letting yourself be fully heard as a leader, believing in actually I've got this as a leader.
Yeah. I think, and sadly, I think it's taken time and successes and failures. So something which is a shame because I should have just had that conviction from the beginning. But um, the things that I said we were going to do in the business, which everyone said don't do that, we did manage to do. We did achieve. We did hit the revenue targets. We did get a Michelin star in the restaurant.
You did. Massive
Yeah.
congratulations.
Amazing. That was like 10 years ago. We don't have one now. But you know what I mean? We set these targets and then it shouldn't, I don't believe in you need external validation or to have these badges of honor. But
Yeah,
I suppose for me, it has I'm now 47. It has given me the confidence now to know. And I failed a business as well. I've had to voluntarily liquidate a business as well. So I know that I can fail and I can
yeah,
rise up again and pick myself up. So yeah, but unfortunately, there's no easy answer on that. I think for me, and I think for a lot of people, maybe it's actually just going on the journey,
yeah,
going on the hike or the
yeah,
10,000 hours or the marathon that is life and business, So yeah,
yeah, yeah,
time, successes, failures, and yeah. I mean, with my children, I've got 2 kids.
yeah,
I'm hopefully instilling in them like it's normal. You're gonna feel not this seen and heard. People are not gonna trust you when you do something for the first time. Most people
yeah,
always want to just see proven track record doing the same thing in the same way. People don't understand innovation, change.
yeah,
The humanness of us is like keep everything in the comfort zone.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
letting them know this. So it's like, don't worry about that. Just don't listen to it. That's normal.
yeah,
Didn't but for me I made it, oh, I'm wrong, but it
yes,
is actually normal that people aren't going to necessarily go with your idea when it seems different or
yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I think what's interesting about a number of points that you raised and you covered, you know, it is a journey. The journey it's never ending. All the time we're breathing, we're on that journey. And you've talked about, closing businesses, you talked about your failure, but you've also talked about when people didn't believe in what you were doing, yet you still hit back then those goals and those achievements. And so it is this kind of roller coaster of a ride until you get to a space where I feel that you are at now, whereas you're very much committed to the next phase of the journey. And that is this, which I'd love you to talk a bit more into about your vision for Bingham Riverhouse. Like when I talk about what is your vision, what do you see in this holistic space? What does it look like for you, Sama?
Mm, mm. um a lot of it is already there. So we have a beautiful restaurant
Yeah,
which serves, we call it feel good modern comfort food. So it's sustainably sourced or regeneratively sourced, local, and so on. The bedrooms are already designed very much for like good sleep, for example. We have like our mattresses are made of lamb's wool, so they're organic.
Yeah.
You get the best night's sleep. We have a mindful mini bar, where so no alcohol, but things like CBD and so on. So a lot of it is already there.
Beautiful.
I
Yeah.
mean, when you said yoga isn't just on the mat, it's in everything. Sometimes
Yeah.
people might be like, what does she mean by that? So if anyone who doesn't know much about yoga, people
Hmm.
new to yoga just think it's just about stretching, but the word yoga means union. And you might be religious, Christian, whatever, or have no religion, but for me that union is this. I believe in source, divinity, God,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
energy through, and that's what this home, this river house hotel, is going to be an expression of. So the new area that we're creating, which is currently where we do weddings and events, which we're relocating somewhere else. We're going to keep doing them, but somewhere else.
Yeah.
Going to be this place with studio for yoga, obviously, but also treatment rooms, equipment like sound healing room, or hyperbaric chambers or oxygen chamber. So some of it will be quite functional remedial therapies for longevity and recovery, but also just using nature by the river and the garden. So it's looking at where well-being will be in the next 3 to 5 years, and I
Yeah.
think there's an increasing shift back to nature, back to community, back to simple things like feeling joy.
Yeah.
And what's really inspired this, I've always been passionate about well-being. My mum was a nurse. My mum and dad's first date was in a health farm because my dad was an alcoholic and he was in and out of recovery. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
but it's in my blood from like, again, from the womb.
yes.
But seeing like, we hear these stats of and why a lot of hospitality business are moving into well-being, because they can see the well-being industry is worth like trillions of dollars.
Yes.
But with this increase in the wellness industry, there's also a decline in public health. We see like cancer's gone from 1 in 3 10 years ago to 1 in 2 now.
Yeah.
Heart disease,
Yeah.
rates of heart disease, which is often caused by stress and diet and lifestyle, is increasing. And I believe like pain, I think that really impacts
Hmm.
like depression and so on. So a lot of well-being businesses, amazing, and I'll put myself in this camp. We're like, yeah, let's do yoga, let's do vegan cafe, whatever. But actually, people are still
Mm.
walking out of that building miserable, lonely,
Yeah.
suicidal, and
Yeah.
getting more and actually feeling just as sick in the end. So I think the wellness element of what we bring in, which is in every area of the business, it's going to be about the spiritual connection, finding joy, building community, helping people really be well, like we call it soul health, not
Yeah.
just, I'm not eating sugar and I'm really healthy, but I'm actually dying inside. And
Yeah.
so I think it's like, yeah, that's the mission. It's a big mission. And ideally, if anyone's listening to this, we'd love to have more than one site. I've only ever had one, well, two premises, but we want to have another one in another
Yes.
London. And also we're trying to create a digital platform and community as well, so people can find practitioners like, I don't know, Reiki healer, quantum energy,
Yeah.
acupuncture, whatever it is, it's alternative. Because I feel that group of healing offering isn't well served by a tech platform. So that's the other thing
Yeah.
they're trying to build.
Yeah.
So it's like it's holistic wellness with a spin, because I think the heart is about the heart. Like you're about the heart and joy, and I think that can get missed sometimes. It doesn't, we are putting equipment in that is going to be hopefully attracting people, but the main thing is getting people to come back here and just find joy no matter what. That's my sort of mantra. It's like you could choose joy, at the end of the day. I think a lot of us feel, when I'm fitter, when I'm healthier, when I have more money,
Yeah.
when I have a relationship, when I have a bigger house, then I'll be happy. But it's not, we have to start here in this moment. We can choose
Yeah.
joy, whether
Yeah.
we have stuff or don't. And we know the world's in like financial turmoil, crisis, money is massively stressful for most people. So it's more important than ever to
Yeah.
go back to the ancient teachings when we can find this connection and joy with nothing.
Yeah.
material, it has to be from within. So that's what the ultimate vision is, to help people come back here. And when
Yeah.
it's here, it's here.
Yes. Coming home to the heart, coming home to themselves.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
myth.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love the mission and the vision, and I know that the vision is well on its way. It's actualizing as we
Yeah.
speak. Um, and I just think in terms of what you were saying about, holistic health and wellness and the way that it's moving and shifting, all of the areas that you've just spoken into and talked about, whether it's a tech platform, whether it's people coming to the Bingham Riverhouse in person, it it has a message of heart, warmth, joy, and remembering who we are.
Mm.
And so I think that from the space that you're at now and these conversations, which I think are really exciting, I guess one of my questions before I ask my last question is you've practiced yoga for the last 13 years. You've brought it into all areas of your personal life, your life in the business. How has yoga been your healing medicine? How has it
Mm.
helped you heal from some of your stresses or burnouts? Like, how has it worked through you?
I practiced for 24 years now.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
No, no, that's all
24
right.
years.
I've been teaching for 13.
Okay.
I think exactly it's what you said about this, remembering who you are, because yeah, I can't God, I can't even remember now how at one point I didn't want to live. I really didn't want to be here. And that really, because I was practicing yoga for 20, but you're probably right, actually. It's actually probably only 13 years of properly practicing it. I think I was previous to that just wanting to look like Madonna, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yoga. So you are right,
Yeah.
actually. Probably properly
Yeah.
practicing is only 13 after this, not wanting to be here anymore.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, there's things like, doing the movements, breathing,
Mm.
help calm the nervous system, being a single mom, going through divorce or breakup, marriage breakup, but still married, but anyway, marriage breakup, all those things,
Yes. Yes.
come to the mat or whatever and find solace, find peace.
Yeah.
But I think now the last few years, it's like, it's not on the mat. It's bringing that belief or that trust, or you said, knowing who you truly are, which is divinity, God. That is what is my savior, and it's given me infinite trust and courage. Like, I really feel like I'm up for doing anything. I'll try anything now because I believe I'm guided. I believe I'm with God.
Yes.
God is with me. I am.
Lovely.
Whatever you want to, whatever float for me, it's, yeah, it's just as me, it's one, it's as
Yes.
infinity. So I think, and again, it's a journey. Like, if I hadn't stepped on the mat for the first time because I wanted to look like Madonna, I wouldn't have got
Right.
to where I am now. So it's like, it was
Exactly.
just layer by layer, just get a bit fitter, get a bit more flexible, breathe,
Mm.
de-stress. It's like going through the layers. Oh, actually, boom, awakening.
Mm.
Not, I don't know if I'm not an awakened being yet, one day, but like, I'm still ego, human, scared often, but I can come back. Yoga brings me back to remember and trust. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's what I love to share. And so when you said yoga's not just on the mat, it's in everything. Yes, it's in everything, because that's what we're sharing. And with our team, it's like, you might not ever go on a yoga mat, but we're working here with the mission of spreading love and helping people come home to themselves. Whether you're
Yes.
working on reception, in the kitchen, washing dishes, that's what we're all here for. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Summer. And my last question is if you could whisper or share one piece of wisdom into the ear of women leaders who are building something that they feel is meaningful, but other people are like, oh, I don't think that's the right thing that you should be doing. And so they kind of feel hidden most of the time. What would you say to that woman leader?
Good. Good that if someone is saying to you, What?
Yeah.
Probably on the right track. Um, I don't want to. My kids hate me being all feminist and whatever, but women, we have the womb. We are
Yes,
creators of the planet, of all the humans on the bit.
yes.
We know, and it like our power has had to be oppressed and shut
Uh-huh.
down. So if someone is
Yeah,
disagreeing with what we want to do, we're probably on the right track.
yeah,
So, like, if someone is saying, what are you talking about, you mad woman, or whatever, like, we get called, I've been called, toxic, lunatic, I need therapy, all of the stuff.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
I'm doing something right, actually, because when people get scared, they want to shut you down.
yeah,
They're scared because of your power. They're scared because you're on the right track, because you are divinely guided. So listen to your gut, stay with your heart, don't get put off. It's good if people are challenging you, I think.
yeah,
I never,
yeah.
I wish someone had told me that 20 years ago.
But you know it now, and look at what you're creating, right? Everything is divine timing.
Mm.
Yeah, nothing before its time. Um,
Trust
Summer,
your power is probably the better thing. Good that they're challenging. Trust your power. Trust your power.
yes.
Your power. And sorry, the last thing with that advice is
Uh-huh.
stop listening to people. And if you're not sure, like I know you're really into meditation and think, just go quiet, sit still, take yourself away, sit by the sea. Don't
Yeah,
ask anyone else. Don't go on AI. Don't look at what other people are doing, left, right. Just sit still and listen
yeah,
and find it here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Beautiful answer. I agree. I think meditation is such a, or prayer, whatever you want to call it, is such a powerful, it's such a powerful energy that we have within us that anybody can do at any time of the day. We just don't forget, we forget because there's so much noise around us, how powerful it is when we sit in our stillness.
Mm.
Um, and I know that for you, you also do a lot of that. Wow, incredible. What beautiful answers, rich, layered, intricate. And so, if people want to hear more about you and what you're doing in your mission with not just the business, but the way that that taken you've taken something that many talk about doing, but keep separate. So this is this business over here, and this is here. What you've done is you've culminated both of them together, and you fuse this incredible soulful space, which you are now really like wanting to explode into the world so that everybody gets to feel the joy of themselves. I think that's wonderful. So if people want to hear more about you, where can they find you? What are your socials?
Summer Trinder on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm not on X for not any reason, just I can't work it out. I have a website, summertrinder.com, and I've got a Substack. I'm writing a bit, and I'm also writing a book about this joy, bringing joy to the world, and how we can face. So yeah, look out for the book. Hopefully, I'll get
Yes,
it finished at some point. Um,
beautiful.
just to this, yeah, my philosophy of like it's like we need the pain to find the joy, but that could be controversial. But trusting that if it's painful, if your life is painful right now and challenging, the gift of that is there is joy on the other side. There's
Yeah,
always joy on the other
yeah.
side.
We will look out for the book too. Sama Trinder, it's been an absolute pleasure, as I knew it would be. I was really looking forward to this interview. Thank you for sharing all of you. The ups, the downs, the challenges, the real raw experiences. That's what this interview series is about. And so thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Abby. I so appreciate it.